Hello. I'm surprised, if I'm being honest. I was looking at the analytics of the last video that I posted, and I have 36 views. And while that may not seem like a ton, it means the world to me because I expected to get 0. So I am very grateful. Thank you if you watched that one, even if it was just for a little bit. I do appreciate it. I feel bad that in the last video that I made, I only did one Reddit story. So today we're gonna read some more Reddit stories, and I will give you more than one this time, I promise. Last night, I couldn't sleep, so I was scrolling through the Am I the A-hole titles on Reddit, and I had saved a few. I haven't read anything but the title, so I'm gonna go through what I saved now, and I'm gonna go through what I saved, and then we're going to pick one, and I'll read it, and I'll put my little 2 cents in. This one has an update. We'll read the main story, and then we'll go ahead and read the update, and then we'll see what the comments have to say. The title is, Am I the A-hole for cutting off my sister after she tried to charge me with assault and my mom encouraged it? A bit of a backstory. My family has always been messy because of my parents' divorce. My mom, 44, has always tried to be more of a friend than a parent. Lots of partying, drugs, and instability. My dad was emotionally distant but stable. Growing up, I was the eldest daughter, so I ended up playing mediator and basically parenting my younger sister, 20. When I was 19, my mom ignored a custody order and moved cities with my sister. After things blew up, my sister got dropped at my door and I ended up looking after a high schooler while barely an adult myself. We became really close during that time. Eventually, she moved back with our mom, who was still partying and dating questionable people. I'd constantly get called to rescue my sister. Organizing Ubers, taking her through unsafe situations, dealing with my mom drunk, and yelling at me on the phone. I felt like the responsible one for everyone since I was about 15. It's gotta be hard not being able to rely on your parents because they're out partying instead of, taking care of their children. I just kind of relate because my mom had us when she was young, so she wasn't quite out of her party phase yet, but thankfully my mother was responsible enough to never put us in a dangerous situation because of what she was doing, if that makes sense. So I can't imagine how it feels to, be the older sister and have to basically take care of your siblings because your parents are unable to. I put that in quotations because they're able to, they're just choosing to party and get drunk instead of taking care of their child. Things changed when my sister got her first boyfriend. Overnight, she became distant and started acting weird towards me around him. We eventually fought one Christmas because I couldn't afford a present and she demanded $100 instead. After that, we barely spoke for about a year. Huh? It just seems a little bit entitled, if I'm being honest. What do you mean you demanded $100 out of your sister when she literally just told you that she couldn't afford a present? Like, I just feel like that's not that big of a deal coming from a poor family. I just don't understand that. Like, when most of the time when people tell you, they couldn't afford to do this for you, it usually means that they couldn't afford to do that for you. Otherwise, they would probably do it. So the entitlement of the sister just being like, give me $100 then. Fuck off. Fast forward to now. In 2024, I was diagnosed with epilepsy 2 weeks after finding out I was pregnant with my second child. Overnight, I lost my license, couldn't be alone, started new medication with heavy side effects, and was dealing with a high-risk pregnancy. It was a really vulnerable time. Yeah, that would be a very vulnerable time. You're pregnant and you got diagnosed with epilepsy. Being pregnant is hard enough, and then you throw epilepsy on top of that. Oh, thank you. I've always wanted that, actually. Thank you so much. I tried to reconnect with family for support. My dad stepped up and helped a lot. My mom didn't. A couple weeks after serious seizure episodes, I visited my mom's house. My sister was there, and we agreed to start fresh. One day we went to lunch with extended family, and things felt off. My sister kept undermining me in conversations. I became a nurse first. Her epilepsy isn't that serious. You don't get to decide if someone's medical issue is serious or not. That's for doctors to decide, actually, not you. That's crazy. That's absolutely insane. My mom also made a few dings at me after drinking. Later in the car, they both started attacking me for rebuilding my relationship with my dad. I stayed quiet and I didn't want to talk badly about him anymore. They called me pathetic. You're pathetic because you want to rebuild a relationship with your father. That doesn't make any sense. And also because you don't want to, like, talk badly about him or hear people shit talking him. Yeah, right, that makes you pathetic, sure. I think in the time that the mother had broken that custody order and taken the youngest daughter to move somewhere else, I think that they bonded deeply, and now they're just kind of like Mean Girl 1 and then Mean Girl 2, They're just kind of like this, but in the worst way possible. Back at the house, things kept escalating, snide comments, laughing at me, generally trying to wind me up. I was already dealing with medication side effects and pregnancy hormones, so I tried removing myself a few times to calm down. That night, I went to grab chocolate I had bought, pregnancy craving. I couldn't find it and spent about 20 minutes looking. Eventually, my mom and sister revealed they had been hiding it and were shoving it in their mouths, laughing after watching me search for it. Who are you? I will never understand making a joke or like playing a joke, playing a prank at somebody else's expense. It's not funny. You low-key bullying this person is not funny. It does not a good joke make. Oh, that's absolutely insane. This woman's dealing with a pregnancy, and she's also dealing with epilepsy, and you're over here just being a complete dick. Right. Okay. Sure. Sounds good. Yeah, that's great. Thank you. I snapped. After a whole day of being mocked, I lost my temper. My sister threw the empty wrapper at me, and I instinctively threw it back. It accidentally clipped her nose. She immediately started screaming that I had assaulted her. My mom joined in, and they both started yelling abuse at me. Sorry, that's not funny. That's not funny. Abuse is not funny. What I'm imagining is just two grown women. Again, I want to reiterate. Abuse is not funny. I'm imagining two grown women standing and looking at another grown woman and just going, abuse, abuse, abuse. Can we be serious for 2 seconds? Also, it's a fucking candy wrapper, bro. It's a candy wrapper. They're not hard or like lethal by any means. It's a flimsy piece of aluminum foil, and they're claiming that she assaulted them because it hit her nose, even though she threw it first. I'm not understanding. It's a fucking candy wrapper. You're literally fine. You're fine. Oh, a piece of paper hit you in the face. Oh my goodness. Somebody called an ambulance. I apologized and tried to talk it out, but my mom started chest bumping me, and they kept insulting me. I put my daughter to bed and decided to leave the next morning. She started chest bumping you? But why though? But why? Also, I feel like growing up with two older sisters, I feel like we could be a lot meaner to each other than just throwing a candy wrapper at each other's faces. And what do you mean the mom's chest bumping you? Can you back the fuck up? Can you leave me alone? I'm trying to remove myself from this situation, and you're over here chest bumping me? Go away. A few days later, my mom sent long messages calling me a terrible mother and saying I traumatized my child. Says the mother who was out fucking drinking and getting drunk and not even parenting her children. You're one to talk. I finally unloaded years of frustration about my childhood and their behavior. I did apologize for losing my temper, but explained how overwhelmed I'd been. She responded saying she wouldn't read it, and that my sister had seen a doctor for ringing ears and blurry vision, and had taken a week off work. Then she warned me my sister was at the police station. She's seen a doctor for ringing ears and blurry vision, but From what this lady is saying, all that was thrown at her in the first place was an empty candy wrapper, and then she threw that exact same empty candy wrapper back at her. But now the younger sister's in the hospital for blurry vision and ringing ears. Brother, it was a piece of paper. It was a. Have you guys ever thrown a candy wrapper? They go maybe about this far before they just kind of flutter to the ground. That hitting you isn't, unless I'm misunderstanding something here. Like maybe it was, but it was a chocolate bar that she, was it not? It was a chocolate bar that she was wanting to eat. Okay, it says I grabbed chocolate, but seeing wrapper makes me think like a wrapper, not a container. So to my knowledge, to my understanding, it is a little piece of aluminum foil. No matter how, I know, like, it's not gonna cause ringing ears and blurry vision. It's just not. Sorry about that. Don't know why my light just turned off. My sister messaged me saying she wanted to charge me with assault, so I couldn't get my nursing license. I blocked them. My sister messaged me saying she wanted to charge me with assault, so I couldn't get my nursing license. I blocked them. You got hit by a candy wrapper. You see this? You need to be about all the way down here because you're fucking fine. 2 hours later, a police officer came to my house about the complaint. I told him everything, and he basically told me to avoid them and that it sounded like they were doing it out of spite. Nothing came of it. I agree. The only reason that she's filing this charge is so that she can't get her nursing license. I assume because she's jealous because she was a nurse first. Like, that fucking matters, but it's been a year and people keep telling me it's family, you should make up. But honestly, my life has felt lighter without them. I have 2 kids now and I don't want the same chaos around them that I grew up with. The only thing making me question it is that I'm getting married soon and people keep saying I'll regret not having them there. Am I the a-hole for cutting them off instead of trying to fix things? No. Absolutely not. Oh, my poop. My baby girl. Yes. Dad loves you. Dad loves you so much. I don't think she's the asshole in any way whatsoever, because I don't think that these 2 women are going to be able to be reasoned with. You could lay down all the facts. You could come at them calm, collected, and I think that they would probably still blow up in her face and not really give a shit because they don't see anything wrong with their actions. Otherwise, they would stop acting like that. So I don't think there's any reasoning with them or any fixing things just because of the type of people that they are. I don't think they're going to change. I don't think their behavior is going to change, and I just think it'll cause more issues like this, and you shouldn't knowingly put yourself in those situations. All right, let's read a few of the comments now, and then we'll actually move on to another story this time. The first comment says, "Not the asshole. Fuck them, their ancestors, and future generations. Bunch of psychos." I agree. A bunch of fucking psychos. This comment says, "Holy moly, you dodged a bullet. You should honestly block the people saying that you'll regret not inviting them when they couldn't even stop from trying to sabotage and frame you after you reached out for support." I agree. Fucking honestly, block that whole side of the family. They all sound like a bunch of fucking drama-causing shitheads, and I don't think it's worth it. Especially since you have like a whole family now. You have a whole life. You need to focus your energy on that rather than dealing with their bullshit all the time. Okay, I'm going to quickly take screenshots of everything that I read so that I have them for later, and then I will pick out one of the other stories that I have saved and we'll read that one.
1 hour later.
Okay, I'm done with all that. I chose the next one out of my saved list that we're gonna read. I saved this one. Here's my thought process last night when I read the title. I saved this. Okay, let me tell you the title first. Am I the a-hole for telling my neighbor they couldn't keep a snake as a pet? My thought process last night at like the 2 a.m. or whenever I was saving these. I hate when neighbors think it's okay for them to dictate how you want to live your life. Especially when you're not bothering anybody by doing what you're doing. So the title pissed me off in that way because who are you to be all up in my business trying to tell me what I can and can't do inside of my own home? or even on the outside of my property. I hate nosy neighbors. Ooh, get out of my business right now before I put a fucking boot up your ass. Okay, let's zen. We're calm. Let's get into it. I live in a relatively small neighborhood. It's a well-knit community. My next-door neighbors are a family with a teenager and a boy about 5. Today, they called me over to look at a baby snake they had found on a hike. They found the snake on a hike? They found the snake. They found the snake on a hike. Do they know like the kind of snake it is? Because like there's like garden snakes, there's corn snake. Are garden snakes? I misspelled garden and got garter, like a garter snake. Those ones aren't dangerous to humans, so that's another example. There's corn snakes, there's garter snakes, and what about garden? Guys, am I stupid? Oh, okay. Okay, if I just read a little bit more, garter snakes are the same thing as garden snakes, and so therefore they're still not dangerous to humans. So yeah, there's corn snakes, there's garter snakes, which are also known as garden snakes, that aren't harmful to humans, and if kept properly, could make a good pet, and you don't gotta pay for it because snakes are really expensive. The woods are like 20 minutes away. They had this tiny little baby snake in a Tupperware container. The container was maybe 4 inches in diameter and 1 inch tall. The baby seemed literally newborn. For context, I have a corn snake, which is why they called me over. Ooh, okay, first of all, I'm a huge advocate for taking proper care of your animals. Because, you know, when you get a pet, it's not a toy. It's something that you have the responsibility to take care of and to make a good life for. And I find with a lot of people, they just don't. They'll just get an animal and kind of, you know, say, fuck it, I think I know what I'm doing, so I'm just going to do this instead of doing the proper research. I hope that they're not planning on keeping this snake in the little Tupperware container, because snakes need a lot of room. They also need humidity. They need... What do you feed a baby snake? Because I think they're, depending on the size of it, I think it might be too small for a pinky mice. What do you feed up? Anyways, they need food. You need to feed them. I don't know how often for a baby snake, but you need to feed them. They need humidity. They need the proper temperature. They need a lot of things that you're not able to do in a plastic Tupperware container, especially the heat, because it'll just melt the plastic. Especially a baby snake. They're going to take a little bit more care than an adult snake, or even like a juvenile. They kept talking to me like they were planning on keeping it, asking questions like, so where do we keep him, or what should we feed him? I started to get uncomfortable because they were not in a position to take care of it. The boy had been over to my house every now and then because I would babysit him, and he had seen my snake and decided that he wanted one too. I have an issue with parents just allowing their children to get animals, because most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time children don't know how to take proper care of an animal, and they don't do the proper research on the animal given in this situation. Instead of, yeah, it's always good to ask an experienced pet owner if you need any help or insight on how to take care of a pet before you get one, because especially snakes, there's a lot that goes into taking care of them, and you can't just grab one on a whim and be like, this is my new pet now, yippee, new pet, new snake, oh, new snake, yippee. You can't do that. You can't do that for any animal, for that matter. I think I judged the title a little bit too much before I read it, because I'm fully on the neighbor's side right now. Do not keep the snake. Do not keep the snake. And also, they just picked up a baby snake. I don't know. Let me hold up. Okay, I was gonna say, they just picked up this baby snake and like stole it from its mother, but I looked it up, and most snakes are not good parents, and they just abandon their children. So it's not like they stole it from their mother. They still stole the snake from the wilderness, with no idea how to take proper care of a snake. But I looked at the dad and I told him that it just wasn't plausible. Snakes require a decent amount of preparation before getting them, and baby snakes especially are hard to look after. This little guy was so small, he really shouldn't have been owned by anyone but a breeder. Or the wilderness. Just give it back to the wild. You found it in the wild, give it back to the wild. If nature takes its course, then nature takes its course. If it lives, then it lives. So just put it back. But even then, he was wild. I told him that if he wanted a snake, he should do research and prepare in addition to getting an older snake. He got annoyed with me and said he could handle a snake. Animals are not toys. They are not just something you can get on a whim and have. You need to take proper care of them. The boy started crying and yelling about how he wanted this snake specifically. The dad told me that I should leave for now until I could be happy for the little boy and his new pet. The boy seemed really upset that I said he shouldn't keep the snake. Am I the a-hole? Absolutely not. You're advocating for this animal who does not have a voice for itself, and I don't think that the snake is going to be in the proper care by this child. Did they say how old the kid was? Oh! He's 5! He's 5 years old! You should never get a 5-year-old a pet. There can be a family pet that, the parents are expected to take care of, but you never get a small child a pet that is their responsibility to take care of and keep alive. It, most of the time, will not end well. This poor snake is destined for a probably pretty shitty life. It's irresponsible of the parents of this 5-year-old to be okay with them. Also, sorry, what parent sees their child, their 5-year-old, pick up a wild animal off the ground and say, yeah, sure, buddy, bring that home? Huh? Huh? Excuse me? Excuse me, what? My mother would have been up in arms if I tried to bring home a wild animal. That's crazy. Okay, these parents are not responsible, obviously. Jesus Christ. Okay, let's calm down and let's read some comments. The first comment says, not the a-hole. They asked your advice because you have the knowledge. They were upset because they assumed you'd just tell them it's simple to do. Instead, you let them know the truth about how you were concerned for the welfare of the animal. Don't be surprised to hear that kid crying later when the snake is no longer alive. Exactly. These neighbors come to you for advice because you're an experienced snake owner, and I assume you take proper care of your snakes, and you're advocating for this little snake that doesn't have a voice, that can't advocate for itself, and the parents are like, fuck you, I'm just gonna do it anyways. Okay, that's great. I'm gonna break into your house in the middle of the night and steal the snake, and either put it back in the wild or give it a proper home. Because fuck you and your 5-year-old. Drop kick the little shit. I'm kidding. That's a joke. I wouldn't hit a 5-year-old. Or any child for that matter. I wouldn't hit anyone for that matter. This comment says, not the a-hole. The boy is going to be even more sad when the snake dies because his parents are offended by the sorry. Not the a-hole. The boy is going to be even more sad when the snake dies because his parents are offended by the idea of research. Yeah. It takes like a few simple Google searches and maybe watch a YouTube video on how to properly take care of a baby snake, because you're going to need to specify that because it's going to be a little bit different than taking care of an adult snake. This comment says, not the a-hole, their pride and ego just wouldn't let them understand. Yeah, okay, yeah. I care about animals a lot. I have 3 cats, I have a Pac-Man frog, and I have 2 fish tanks. I care about animals a lot because especially since they don't have a voice, and people tend to not, especially with cats, people tend to not respect cats' boundaries, and then they just think that the cat's an asshole. Not the case. You're the asshole for not respecting this cat's boundaries. And with reptiles, a lot of people don't, reptiles and fish, a lot of people don't understand the amount of attention and time and care that these animals need. And they just, they get them on a whim, and then their animals end up having a bad life, or at the very a mediocre life, which is not fair to that animal because, you know, they could have gone to somebody who actually cares and is willing to put as much as you need to into taking care of those kind of animals. Especially, little side rant. Fish. There are some great, absolutely, chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. What the fuck was I saying? My starter got me fucked up. There are some wonderful fish owners out there who actually know how to properly take care of their specific kind of fish and what to do for them and everything that it entails. And then you get people walking into a pet store thinking, I'm just gonna get my child who's like 5 to 8 years old, even sometimes 12, a fish. I'm not gonna do any research. I'm not gonna do any of that. Maybe I'll throw some fucking Oscars in with some guppies, and we'll just see what happens. It'll be fine. Fish are easy to take care of. I'm drooling. I'm so upset. Fish are easy to take care of. Let me tell you right now, it's not that simple. It's really not that simple. I hate when people come into a pet store and they're like, oh, I want to get an easy pet. Oh, fuck off. Go outside and grab a rock and put some goddamn googly eyes on it, because there is no easy pet. There's not. Every single animal that is in your care is going to take time. It is going to take effort. It is going to take resources. It's going to take a lot of things for you to properly take care of this animal. Let's move on to the next story. Maybe it won't get my blood so goddamn boiled, but we'll see. I just like to be pissed off sometimes, you know. I just like to get that aggression out. I feel like this is good for you. It's good for my mental health. It's good. It's great. I'm sitting here alone in my house, yelling at a camera. Okay, we'll do one more because I've been recording for a little bit now. I took a minute. I'm calm. I'm relaxed. We're gonna read this last one. It's pretty short, so I don't think it should take too long. We're gonna read this last one, and then we're gonna read some of the comments. This one is titled, "Am I the a-hole for not wanting to hang out with my friend anymore because of a bad tattoo?" I've been friends with this guy through my wife's work for about 3 years. He's a nice guy, but he has a lot of tattoos. But whatever, tons of people do. He recently got a huge tattoo that covers his whole head. It looks ghetto as hell and isn't even done that well. It looks like a prison tattoo. When we're out, people gawk, point, and stare. I don't like that attention. I don't like hanging out with him as much anymore. Edit. I'll still be friends with him, but spending time together, especially in public, makes me embarrassed by his appearance. Before he got the tattoo, I told him that I thought it was a terrible idea. It makes me question his decision making. Am I the a-hole? Okay, when I first read the title last night, I was under the impression that maybe it was like an offensive tattoo and it'd be reasonable not to want to hang out with this person, but he got a tattoo that covered his head. So what? And it's his decision. It's his body. It's his decision. He can do what he wants. I don't see the big deal in it. I just kind of feel like maybe this guy's better off without you judging him like that. A tattoo make people look at me. I don't want people to look at me. Then stay inside your house. Because when you go out, people are gonna look at you no matter what. Whether you have a tattoo or not, yeah, you might get more looks, but it's not you who has the tattoo, it's your friend. So yeah, I do think you're the asshole. I think there are a lot worse. There are lots of worse things that somebody could do to make you not want to be friends with them, but getting a tattoo is not really that big of a deal. And wanting to be friends with him, but behind closed doors? Oh, fuck you. You're straight. You're weird. Yeah, it's fucking weird. You're weird. You're weird. Yeah, you're the asshole. Let's read some of the comments. See what other people are thinking about this. You're the asshole. You aren't a child or teenager. He's your friend. If he's your friend, he's your friend. Let people stare. How old are you? I agree. Does it matter that much? Really? This one says, that's tough. I think it has a lot to do with the totality of circumstances. If it was a hate symbol, sure, screw them. If they got a tattoo while on hard drugs, yeah, no more friends. These are my opinions. If you want to leave a friendship strictly over a tattoo while nothing else about the person has changed, then it makes you seem shallow. And remember, all that attention isn't even on you. So just because you're out with him It's not about you. You're making your friend's tattoo about you. Maybe reflect on that before you make a decision. I agree. Like, that's what I was saying. I was under the impression that it would be a hate symbol or, you know, something along those lines. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be friends with them either, but not because they got a tattoo, because they got like a hateful tattoo. There's a difference. And getting a tattoo while on hard drugs, yeah, I wouldn't want to be friends with them either, but not because of the tattoo, because they're abusing substances. Like, ending a friendship with somebody, what was it, a 3-year long friendship? Yeah, a 3-year long friendship over a tattoo that's not hateful or anything along those lines. You do seem very shallow and a little bit selfish, or at least self-conceited, thinking that the attention that, you know, he's getting is also about you. Nobody cares about you, dude. They're looking at the tattoo. Sorry. This comment says, you can choose to associate with whoever you want for whatever reason you want, although you cannot stop anyone from judging you for it. Yes, people will think you're shallow if you don't want to be seen with your friends in public. It might be worse to say friends in private and refuse to see them in public, not exactly true friendship, but it sounds like you think poorly of him already for getting the tattoo in the first place. Perhaps it's time to reevaluate if you want to be friends at all. I agree. You can be friends with whoever you want to, and you can stop being friends with them for whatever reason you want to. You're allowed to do that. But yeah, it's not going to stop people from judging you. I'm judging you. You do seem quite shallow. Saying that you'll be friends, but in private? Oh, fuck you. That's such a shitty feeling for your friend to feel that you don't want to be seen with them out in public. That's embarrassing. And it's your fault. You piece of shit. Okay, this was my second attempt at making a YouTube video like this, a commentary one. I do enjoy making them. I enjoy being able to say my opinion because I have lots of them. I am still baffled that I even got 36 views on my last video. That's just crazy to me. Thank you if you watched that one. Thank you if you watched this one. If you would consider, you know, leaving a like, subscribing, and, you know, honestly, leave me a comment if there's anything you want me to do differently, anything you like, or anything you want to see in the future, so that, you know, I can grow my channel and be somebody that you like to, that you enjoy to watch. I think I have 8 subscribers now as well, which it doesn't seem like a lot, I know, but it means the world to me. It really does. I really want to grow this channel. I want to make content that people enjoy. I want to make content that I enjoy making. And I do really enjoy making these. Again, thank you for watching. Thank you so much. I guess I might see you in the next one.
Bye!